Iris. Why is it showing Iris at home?
She's got a camera on.
Okay.
Let me hear it if I can get that. Sorry, guys.
No.
I don't know what it did.
Okay, then. The July 18th, 2024 Parks Board meeting is now called to order. Suzanne, will you please call the roll?
Yes, ma'am. Chairperson Roseanne Gilbert. Here. Vice Chairperson Cody Evans.
Here.
Board Member Justin Camp.
Here.
Board Member Becky Denton is absent. Board Member Elizabeth Mauer.
Here.
Board Member Monica Resco is absent. And Board Member Russell Scott.
Here.
Thank you. And your liaison here, y'all have a one.
And I don't believe we have any public comments.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So now let's approve the minutes from the last meeting, June 20th.
Everyone's looking at it, I'll move that we approve the meeting minutes. June 20th, 2024 for the Parks and Rec special meeting. Second. Move, we have a motion on a second, so that's the roll call. So that's
Let's
the
have a roll call for the motion,
Absolutely.
approval of the minutes.
Chairperson Roseanne Gilbert.
Aye.
Vice Chairperson Cody Evans.
Aye.
Board Member Justin Camp.
Aye.
Board Member Elizabeth Mauer.
Aye.
And today you can vote Mr. Scott, Board Member Russell Scott.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passed.
Okay. Now we'd like to have our report from,
That's what you're saying.
oh, I already did. Bob, would you like to give us your liaison report?
Yes, and if I could just put a little tail on the end of it afterwards. So if you were to look at this, this is, instead of looking at all the myriad of papers that we had, Suzanne has taken and put it all in one spreadsheet sheet that you can actually see and hopefully make sense of. Everything on the left-hand side is stuff that's already done and paid for. The only exceptions that we have a few things that are not where they are supposed to be. But they should be easily fixed. It's $175 that was for the Brook Meadow, middle of the lane, piece of work that shouldn't have been on here. And the Triangle Park, these are all done. So all we have left, and we've actually gotten some more things that are on the right side that have already been paid for as well. The benches are on the right side. They've been paid, at least some of them have been paid for. I don't know if all of them have been paid for yet.
Right, that's why they're on that middle column.
Okay, so we paid for, I think, the 3 benches that are going to Triangle Park, 3,600, I believe, are gonna move over, right? So everything else is there. So if you do this math on what possible costs are versus reimbursements, we have about $8,800 left. And, which is, it's a good thing we didn't get that observation deck, because we could never have afforded it. It costs something like $31,000. So this is what we have left, and, I have to commend you as a board for being, thoughtful about everything that you bought. Because, and I know it's been you through, Kevin Rule, but it's been a series of thoughtful selections. So I've also heard that you want to maybe add one more thing, but we don't have an actual cost for it yet, do we, as far as what it would be?
I have a quote for it that we, Sam's handed out a printout of, I just got this quote last night. I haven't done any more investigation with the company. I guess they're out of Concord, New Hampshire, but the person I was corresponding with in email is interesting. I don't have it completely figured out yet. I don't know. This is something we're talking about. I think we can add it into, it can be part of a later agenda item if needed.
Okay. So, but it's there. And the other thing, this is pretty much what I'm going to submit to city council along with dates. There aren't very many additional dates that I can add to this as far as when things were approved, because most of it was approved as a blanket approvals rather than individual things. And so the only other thing is there anything else, if you were to look at our current proposal for the city of Wood Creek for 24-25, right now, we have, I think it's $5,000 allocated for just parks, and I don't think that you got one of these. But I believe it's $5,000 for parks at this point. And that $3,500 that we were talking about for Spooktacular is actually part of this year's budget, so for these anyway. They've had discussion about where Spooktacular should go, whether it should be in community events or should be part of the parks budget. And I'm not clear that there's a real clear answer about that. Suzanne, you were there. What do you think? Was it, as far as Spooktacular is concerned? Because it's not on a particular line item. It just says the parks, for instance, the Parks Board actually is now $4,000 for the Parks Board. And that doesn't include parks and playground maintenance, which is at this point $5,000, which should be, I think, enough. Tell me what you think. Is $5,000 enough?
That wasn't part of the council request, was it?
It's actually in yeah, it is. Parks and playgrounds was 5,000. All the maintenance things are together, and one of those things is parks and playgrounds.
It's because there's a lot of items, like literally everything we do for the community, the 4th of July parade,
Right.
fireworks show that was at, VFW, yacht stuff, tree boards activities, it was all going to community events. So we kind of-
Did what, separate it out?
Yeah, so just to know that where the money's going to.
My understanding was the request was specifically to the post-act money that was granted. And any
He's just having
changes,
a general community
Right.
explaining that.
And community events should it come out of the parks money, or should it come out of, I'm seeing no over there.
yeah, I don't know if that's,
Community relations is what it is, it's $11,000. And where else would it come from? Is it reasonable for the community relations to be things like Spooktacular and things like that?
I think it's a great question.
But back on topic is your report about the park. Sorry, Bob.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a fair question, and we should probably have a workshop or discussion to, make a recommendation back to the council on how we feel about it. But I'm more focused on what I heard at the council meeting, what I heard at the prior meeting here, and what we're looking at here was money allocated to Park and Rec Board through POSAC for expenditures and improvements to city parks in the city of Wood Creek. And that we had, I include myself in it because I'm on the board now, but we had spent monies without the council actually being aware of it, even though we had given it allocated. And they're requesting what has been spent and what has been spent that they didn't know about. And that's the breakdown that I knew that they're looking for. It's like, okay, you knew you were gonna spend X dollars, you spent X dollars plus X dollars. you know, there was a mix up of whether we needed to ask or tell or just ours to spend, but they made pretty clear that they wanted accountable and trackable. So what I'm asking, what I'm trying to read on the spreadsheet, God knows I've seen a lot in the last 50 years, is where were we? And, you know, what have we spent without their knowledge, and what do we want to spend on top of that? And what is our balance?
Right.
And when I
That would
look
be
at
under
that,
our workshop item. Is it, we're still in the report section unless you're
Yeah.
done, sir.
so that's what I'm trying to get from Bob on this
Right.
report, so I understand it.
And you refresh my memory a little bit. It is so little that we haven't reported.
Right.
Things like the wall is that, but we can talk about that later. Does the $4,000 for Parks and Rec sound reasonable as far as the budget item is concerned?
What are you referring to?
Oh, it's, you don't have the proposed budget, but with the proposed budget,
I have there's you have two columns in the attachment for the.
yeah, the left-hand side is the,
Budget workshop for the council.
Yeah.
You have a proposed 2024-2025 budget, and there's a 23-24 adopted budget. So 23-24 adopted budget allocation for Parks and Recreation Board was 10,000 and now it's 4.
correct.
What did we spend in the preceding budget year? Anything?
We've done everything through POSAC for the most part.
Well, the spectacular is one of the expenses that will be outside of that. I think last year it was estimated $3,400. But of course we didn't spend it because we canceled, you know,
Right.
the event. So,
The luminaries will maybe been a little bit. but-
yeah. Let's see, what, okay,
Your budget allocation for special events proposed for this year is $100. It was 200 last year.
for parks,
No, for special events for the city, so that there's $100. So where in this budget would roughly $3,500 be hiding for us to do spectacular?
that's the 4,000,
Is it?
Mhm.
That's what,
that's what I asked for,
That's really our only expense.
yes.
okay, then it's in line with, we leave it the way it is.
Yeah, we can put a pretty good party for $4,000.
I think so.
All right, that's all I have.
Okay. And you feel like now you're prepared to go back to the council with all of these issues that they want you to discuss, charges made after grant issuance, which is this whole list really is involved.
Yeah, the only other thing is whether or not POSAC will actually want a report of money spent. I don't know that.
Okay.
So that's gonna do that. I'll be asking. Yes,
So just for my clarification, so I'm tracking on this, right? On the right side of your spreadsheet, the bottom figure, the dollar amount of POSAC money plus city match of 267.
yes. That was 200,000 from POSAC and we matched the 67,000 as a budget item.
So that was our starting balance?
Yes, it was.
Yes.
Chair Gerber, can I make a notification?
Okay, it might be clear if you start that at the top and then, I don't know, pull stuff out of that.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Because it looks like an addition, and it should start at the top. And then the figures, is this correct? And then the figures underneath it are deductions.
Mhm.
That's
Well,
changeable.
yeah, and then you've also got this adjustable amount piece that
Yeah.
I guess we don't know when that'll be, because we may have more money. So.
Yeah, up to $5,121 if, for instance, for the park benches.
Okay. So that just might make it clearer for that. And then I'm trying to figure out, so the total possible cost on this additional requested items unbilled work. Less reimbursements, where are the reimbursement? What?
It's noted on there next to the park benches in that middle column.
Oh, the reimbursed by residents?
Yeah.
Okay,
And the other thing I was trying to clarify was, I pulled the invoice for that VMP lawn care. In the middle column where it shows decomposed granite
Right.
at Augusta Park for 2420.
Mhm.
There is a 21 tons of 3 to 5 inch river rock
Yeah,
Is that what went up at Augusta, or is that something different?
That's at Augusta, but that's not decomposed granite.
yeah.
So there
that's
still
the
will be
The
a,
decomposed granite is at, between the bocce ball court.
It's like Felici.
It is in the contract.
And the parking and next between the parking and the ping pong.
And thank you.
and that's already been laid down?
Yes,
It's there.
So there is not that, as of now, that cost would stay in there because there's no invoice for decomposed granite that has been coded to 8926 yet.
let me ask, let me check with Pat.
Neither of those is what it said.
Yeah, my only thing is just to make it as simple as possible for their
Yes.
council say, I mean,
Yes.
they're not trying to deep dive us or anything. I
No.
just think that we need to make it really, really simple and really like, here's where we started, here's what we approved, here's what we've done extra, and here's what we do want to do extra on top of that.
Yeah.
And that should be reflected in here.
There's also like something that looks like it's probably not correct when, there's a line for level deconstruction for Creekside Park and material for Creekside Park, and then also one for level deconstruction for Creekside Parking material for Triangle Park. One's for 2420 and one is for 3265. It's 6 lines from the bottom. So I don't, just maybe figure out what that is, so we
Yeah.
don't, because there should be parking material for Triangle Park, so I'm not sure what that,
Thank you.
yeah. Is that, that's not extra money?
Yes.
Or maybe that's
Thanks.
the Caliche, I don't know.
Where was the other one? It was Creekside and Triangle?
So that
So
would be,
it's listed under Triangle Park. It's the fifth one down.
There it is.
From the Creekside parking material.
So let me look at these. Hold on.
Yeah, that just might be a mix up between what the vendor was.
Mhm.
Well, there's no.
Has there been any parking improvements made at Triangle Park?
Yeah,
That's
what
what
Elizabeth's saying.
strikes me, I was like, maybe this is the missing line of
the
the,
24.
That's what I'm wondering.
of something, because that's, $3,200.
Well, maybe the 2420 is
It's that
decomposed
same
granite.
Yes, exactly, I'm saying maybe those
Yes, so
two
that would be
are,
that, yes.
if we ask Pat or whoever and get the amount and it's that, then we can,
Yeah, one of them,
Feel-
one of them has decomposed,
And, yeah,
gotta be.
well, that's good then, because it's already in the.
it's already in the budget, yeah, already in the expenses.
Thank you. Well, over here, that's all right. 2420.
Yeah.
That number adds up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Augusta Park, you can substitute.
She would make the ones.
So yes, give yourself back 2420 on that.
Okay,
So that we add that to the 887939,
yes.
That is
leftover
what-
money,
Yes, there would be,
so we're at $11,000 left over.
Yes. Yep. And this needs to be corrected.
And we've determined that the county is not gonna claw anything back from us.
That I've heard as a concern, there's not a whole lot to claw back,
There's
there's
not.
no point.
It's not really
If,
worth
even
it.
if it were, I think that they'll see that we spent the money well and that we're continuing to do so, and I think that is their intention more so than anything else. That we have used it well and will do so in the future.
okay. So we'd be real close if we get the TP and those few additional things that,
Yeah, the few additional things are not that much.
Yeah.
The TP is the big thing, the other things are all pretty expensive.
and the same company has the loose bit that we can order from them for like $270, which I recommend.
And then you make your little house inside, you make your
kids can do
furniture in the
that.
TP, it'll be
Yes.
real.
And they actually even have, bamboo poles if we want those, but we may be okay if we just do this now.
Mhm.
And we can, that could be something we could do in the future if we want to add some more things. But maybe go ahead, okay. All right, so Bob, finished?
Thank you, yes.
Thank you very much.
And remember in that 11,000 that you just gave, wish list on, that's assuming that those last 2 benches are going to be donated.
You're right, because
And that's 3187, so I would only count on
to
I think we're still good.
81.
yeah, the three.
Yeah.
We may have three.
Right.
We know the things that Triangle will be reimbursed, the, city will be reimbursed for those, just the benches. And then we can see if maybe anyone else might like to donate a bench.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's in the green column where it says total possible additional money, is that for the benches being reimbursed?
Yes.
But is that,
Yeah, that's the 60.
is that amount, isn't that amount already in the total that we've spent just in case? Or am I wrong about that?
Look at the
So,
bottom of the middle column where it
Uh-huh.
says total possible cost, that adds everything up, that's 11,922.69. Let's reimbursements, the 6,800, those are the costs of all 5 benches. If all 5 were to be reimbursed. Right now, only 3 are.
that's what my stupid brain can't compute right now. It's like, this is taking away from this. It's not right. This would be an addition to that.
That's,
So it's all on the top.
yeah.
At a minimum, we have this plus the 24, 20. Okay. And
Right.
then
So that
there might also be this amount of money. This amount of money does not come out of this amount of money,
This
right?
is right here.
Yes, but does this amount of money come out of this amount of money? as well,
No,
right?
it's already accounted for.
Okay, yeah, I mean, if we have this to work with, if it gets reimbursed, great, but there's plenty of money for the handful of things we want to do at Augusta, even
Mhm.
without it, so.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't have any headache medicine here.
Oh,
we just-
I don't have a headache.
That's
Oh.
I just said my brain wasn't computing.
Ready?
Oh,
Ready
Not
for math?
burning, it just, I was like, I'm good, I don't have a headache, thank you though.
Okay, let's
I do
move
have
on.
3 children, I'm not.
Let's move on to the regular agenda item number 3.
Open workshop at 5:56.
So now, if we could, I would like to get our reports on some of the projects going on at Augusta. So Justin, do you have some things, words you'd like to share with us about the rainwater collection?
I do. So last weekend, the Eagle Scout broke ground on the foundation for the rainwater harvesting. That consists of an 8x8 form filled with decomposed granite. Posts were set, concrete was laid for these posts. Those posts, 4x4s, are set up for the roof collection. And as of now, the tank that has been purchased, that is at King Feed right now. Sometime this weekend or the following week, they are going to go retrieve the tank, set it on the foundation, and continue to build up the roofing. They have all their materials they need, a lot of which were donated by McCoy's, some of which was also donated by King Feed. So they're good to go with all of the things that the onus was on them for their project. Moving forward, there has been discussions of trying to camouflage that tank. And I think we should, discuss how we're going to provide those additional materials to what they already have for camouflaging. But as of now, they are probably 4 or 5 hours worth of work away from completing their project.
I know this is probably a very dumb question, but they are cutting those posts off at some height
They certainly
above
are.
the,
It looks funny right now, but yeah,
Yes.
they are gonna cut those, trim those down
okay,
for when they install the,
okay.
yeah, the tank itself is 500 gallons. So it's a lot wider than it is taller.
Okay,
But yes, I don't know what the exact length or the height of that is,
mhm.
but as it stands now, it's not gonna be that tall.
Any questions?
So do you have like a ETA on completion? Kind of thing?
I'd say the next 2 weeks is a good safe bet.
Cool. Just curious.
The, Billy and is the Eagle Scout, Travis is his dad. They live right across the street. It was easy for them to get lunch that day. And, so imagine being able to access whatnot, completions right on.
Great. Exciting.
Yes, very much so. And you will take more pictures, right? Just-
Right.
Thank you, because that's.
And they've done a good job of documenting
Oh.
that themselves. The
Okay.
pictures that I sent you,
Okay.
Billy had actually taken.
Yeah.
It's important for, this project, their own.
Yes.
But yes, working closely with those fellows. And, when I do get a firmer, update on when that completion is, I'll let everybody know.
Thank you. Okay. Now let's discuss, Becky Denton's reports. She was unable to be here with us today. She's out of town. So that is this form. There's 2 pages here. Um, I need to read this.
Whatever you do is applicable.
Yeah. Well, Claire Palmer is, I think, ready to begin the solarizing of the rain garden area.
What does that mean? I'm sorry.
It's covering the ground with some kind of material that will kill the plants underneath it.
Like a weed blocker.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then,
Heard of that.
yeah, then they will come back in the fall to plant.
Oh, so it's temporary,
It's, well,
or they just cut holes where they want to plant it.
that's what I would do, but
Yeah.
I don't really know Claire's approach on this.
Not a big deal, just.
Yeah, probably cut holes would help us keep the weeds at a minimum, if that's not possible there. The Monarch Station, Becky is actually the contact person with the Girl Scouts. So that one, we don't have much information yet on that, unless, you don't have any.
I mean, no.
Okay, that's okay. That's- The spreadsheet included the list of a few things that Becky would like us to purchase for the children's play area, the xylophone magnifier, a shade cloth to go over that area, and some signage, $331.
Seems like it should be a little more than that, just looking at what she sent, but
Mm-hmm.
not much.
So that would be something that we might want to take action on. Becky also found a lady, her name is, Katie Clemens, that is knowledgeable about our local plants and the native plants. And Catherine, no, this is a different lady. This lady actually does maintenance, that Becky and I agree with her, would like to hire. It's about $100, about 5 to 6 times a year, that she would go in there and weed out weeds. And then, just to keep things a little bit better under control for the whole area. So that would be an additional expense.
Operating as a subcontractor for the city?
Yes. So it's maintenance, it would just be, parks maintenance at that point.
You would have to talk to Mr. Burton about that,
Okay,
arranging something like that.
yes. And then the next section is just about some additional signs that Becky would like to order,
So is,
and that's included in the 331.
Okay, if the amount that she put, all the amount she put on the next page, it's like $450 for all this, and it doesn't include the sign, so I mean, it might be more like
Okay,
500, I don't know if she's sign is 600. I still think it's well within the budget.
yes,
But it is a little bit more.
okay,
If I could, last meeting, we talked about these things and made a motion, seconded and voted on to spend up to $8,000 for each of these things, which the council already approved. So
Okay.
as far as that's concerned, it's already done in terms of approval. Now we just have to order and buy it.
Okay, so I'll have Becky, pass that information on to Kathy, and she can order them?
No, I will go through Jim Burton.
I would have to send that to Jim. Okay,
Where's that $8,000 in the proposed budget?
Yeah, that's what I was.
It's still part of COSAC.
So maybe
It's in the
So-
program. Yeah,
What the motion was to spend up to $8,000. And remember,
Okay,
that particular motion that was made, second,
okay, so that's Prozac.
that COSAC funds.
because these are, yeah, things for the children. Okay,
So the only new thing would be the playhouse, TP, et cetera. Yeah.
and maybe the loose bits. And,
$800 or $600.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. And actually, we might just, we put us right at the top of our entire budget, really. Which would be, I think, spectacular.
I'd say maybe get the bamboo poles since it's already approved and
Okay.
there's enough for us.
Yes, okay.
Would be nice.
We should add it. The large order of the loose bits and then the random ones.
I think it works there.
Well, I thought you got the quote, I mean, I thought you had.
All I've got is the quote from TV.
Okay,
Rest of it is something Becky's working on.
well, she asked that it be included, or well, she's gathered information.
Mhm.
So this is the loose bits. And then,
If we're gonna finalize purchasing or asking the city to purchase something using Prozac parts, all of this needs to be distilled down to a single sheet,
Sheet for the-
spreadsheet. This item from this vendor, at or about this amount, we'll need to give that to Suzanne, would be my guess.
And
And then ask the city to buy it. Yeah, but all of this is, it's gotta be,
yes.
let's just make it neat and
Okay,
give Suzanne a list. Check and see if we have the money for it. And then once we know what all of the ancillary items cost, we figure if we can afford 6,300 for this TV and its shipping cost.
yes.
I don't, it's really tight. That'll be all of our money gone from Prozac, which that's what it's for.
I mean, because that's not supposed to be spent on like maintenance. It's
No,
supposed
it's
to be
really
It's
not.
not.
Yeah.
For this, so
We might as well spend it and be done with it.
kind of
And speaking of that, is the fountain, it's not really included in Prozac either, is it? The water fountain is supposed to be.
Kevin had it listed on his sheet.
But,
There's two items, water fountain slab and water fountain installation. There's no dollar value at water fountain installation.
no, but my point is, that was not part of Prozac, was it?
The water
Oh,
fountain,
you were
aqua,
here.
like, don't.
Aqua Texas donated that to us.
Oh, you're saying that wasn't in our,
Our
should we even be
presentation
putting that,
on
in
the
it?
spreadsheet.
like, maybe that needs to come out of something else?
And I,
Your question whether it's a gray area, we have to go back and take a close look.
well, let's go back at Pat's, presentation to Prozac and see if that was even in the pictures. Okay, and we'll do that.
Hopefully, it was, it's after the fact.
I think so too. Okay. So. Doesn't take possible action. I don't believe that we have to take any action.
I don't know, things will be included.
And we'll, I'll, Becky and I'll put together a spreadsheet, including everything we want to still buy.
And then I say we ask Becky to attend the next meeting, we vote on it, pass it, that spreadsheet is approved. And it goes to the city for purchase after that.
May
Is
I
that the
ask
right way to do
you,
it?
why do I have to have it approved again when we've already approved it? Can we not just put it together?
I think their thing is just, they just want to track changes.
No, I understand that, but we'll put the spreadsheet together, give it to Suzanne or Bob to present to both, to present to the city. So we're saying this is our This is our.
If we have a document of those right now, where the board can review it and say, yes, everything's on there, every one of the agenda items are covered, give it to Suzanne for purchase. If we had that document in front of us, it'd be easy to do right now.
Okay,
What you're going to do is you're proposing to submit a document that the board hasn't looked at.
okay,
This board advisory panel hasn't looked at it,
you're right.
and it's just,
Never,
the right way to do it is it has to pass through the board.
Okay.
We have a quick vote, goes to Suzanne, they buy it. Agreed.
you should never vote on something you haven't seen.
All right. Now, let us move on to spectacular. At the bottom of your papers today, I have taken out of my wonderful binder that I put together last year that now has everything for the last 2 spectaculars. This is really general information for all of you right now. I just wanted you to see all the many steps that are included in organizing the event. I went by the golf course Tuesday afternoon, and unfortunately, the 2 people that I could have spoken to were both out, and I was hoping for a call back today, but I'll call them tomorrow. Just to, determine if we can use the same space that we have been using for the last few years. The gentleman behind the desk didn't think there would be any problem with that, but I will try to get back over there too.
It's my understanding that, Mayor Rasco had that conversation with the owner of the golf course, and the golf course has approved our use of the site.
Well, that's interesting, how did that happen,
I
because,
don't know, Jeff sent me an email, and I believe he copied you also. And this was several weeks ago.
I think Jeff and I were supposed to go speak to the owner of the golf course, but okay.
Okay, this was on 6/26. I heard back from him, and they are good to host again. I've asked who will best work with on planning.
Okay.
And yeah, that was to your Gmail account,
Okay,
Bob's, city clerk, city secretary, manager, code admin, just
okay. I will go back to them and ask, because I do want to engage them for the drinks, hot dogs. And I think, that last year we were supposed to be a little more interactive with them so that they could participate in fun and enjoyment. Okay, so, so this year, what's gonna happen just immediately is the beginning of the order of all the bags, candy, prizes. We have some time, we have September. But I'd like the board to decide, and I know we do this every year, and I know Cody, you probably already talked about the bouncy houses, but just decide what area of the event they'd like to help with. And then get that back to me with it.
And, I did want to mention, if it's on October 26th, I would assume that's when Boot Hole is, or we cool with doing it same day, or did we, like, was that on purpose, or was that?
That's the Saturday before Halloween, or the
I
next
think
week.
it's always the Saturday before Halloween.
it is, we dealt with that conflict last 2 years.
Yeah, and you know, there's positives to both, to doing it the same day and not the same day.
I didn't know. that,
The hole this year is on October 28th.
Oh, it's on October 28th,
Yeah,
on Monday?
so it says, we're from 4 to 10 p.m.
On a Monday?
Yes.
Let me make sure this is 2024. It sure looks like it is. It's on Wimberley Park and Rec website.
Well, that is a,
That's a bonus.
strain from the last 4 years, what's that on
Yes.
Saturday, but cool, all right,
Okay.
that sounds good then, never
Okay.
mind.
So ours is on Saturday.
Yes.
It doesn't say 2024 anywhere, but it is the Wimberley Parks and Rec site.
No, I don't know if I trust it. I can call, I can
Hang
call.
on,
I
hang on.
didn't
Hang
mean
on,
that, y'all, sorry.
This one's from 2022.
Oh, gosh. What year?
I have every one of their. Why are
I've never not.
Are they
been on
still-
Saturday before Halloween. see it.
Their old website's still active.
Okay.
October 24, it says the 19th.
Oh, they're going a full week early.
Yeah.
It's, okay, in 2024, it's October 19th.
Well, cool.
Even better.
Yeah, it is. He's got both this year. That'll be awesome.
Sounds good.
Do we have anybody else that might want to do the advertising, or shall I just?
Well, that's my question. Pat handles that with the banner. Do we
I know.
update it year to year?
Yes,
Do we have Pat's banner?
yes. And he told me I can simply take it down to the sign place and they'll, you know, glue over the dates. But Pat also, I think, handled advertising in the paper, right?
I don't know. Were you the one paying that invoice, Suzanne, or city manager paying for that?
Okay, I'll ask Pat that too.
I can put the banner up.
Sure.
And all this, as far as the list of duties go, I'll just do the same thing that I did years before. I do agree with that.
Let me see if there's anything I can add to y'all's list.
Not a lot you can add to mine.
Sorry, you have to go. This is like.
Okay, go.
Yeah, I need to go too.
Thank you, it's really nice to see you, Elizabeth.
Good to see you too. I see you through my window twice this week.
I know.
I saw a cute little boy rolling
Yes, that.
through the sunroof and I was like,
Our
oh,
little,
it's
a little twig.
He looks like a big boy. I thought he was like an acre.
Oh, gosh. So if just look over it, you know, if there's anything that you'd like to see us do differently or additionally. One of the weak spots I always feel is the games that we have for the children to play, but I think they just want to be busy and moving around.
There's a bounce house. The games are always gonna be like.
Secondary.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I think. it's-
Okay. So
I think it's
kind of-
pretty good.
Kind of the similar activities that we did.
I can also rent a couple of games from Buda Bounce House with the inflatables, if that's an idea anybody likes, because it'd be very easy. They would set them up, we just run them.
We wouldn't have to make anything.
Now,
Like what?
kind of games? How much
I don't
do
know,
they
I have to
cost?
look there.
Yeah.
Everything costs money.
I know, see.
If we have money, yeah. Let's do it.
It's the only
Are you-
event we
are
put
you
on in a
right?
year. I
Yes.
mean, if we want to spend $300 or $400 more than what we're
Yes.
going to spend, and it makes it easier for us to have interactive games there, I would recommend just,
I
Getting some
totally
easy things.
agree with you, because it's sometimes the issue is finding volunteers that are older, because they don't have their children out there on the grounds trying to keep up with them.
Right.
And,
well, Buda Bounce House is upgraded. They have large rides and things now. Anyway,
okay,
I can have some ideas for our next meeting for that and some prices on it too.
So Joseph, you or Cody, you know, we'll upload one or maybe two little items for me. I
Russell,
could try to help out.
why is that? Just one or two?
Because I don't wanna, you know, I don't wanna get in the way. I wanna watch and learn and observe.
You learn by participating.
We're gonna need we need more community involvement in this. We're gonna need some more volunteers. This
Yeah.
board is not gonna be able to pull off.
No,
something like that.
no.
No, we
And,
can.
and that's the other thing is that we, judges, that's kind of my weakness here is not knowing some of the people, John Odell, I do not know him, and some of the other, but I know some of the board members or
Is he
something.
one that you would consider as John?
He was one of the judges, and then remember we have to have judging for the
Yeah.
golf course at the triangle, and then we move on down, so we have the judges.
Sure, you can also do it.
Yeah, yes,
May I ask a question real quickly? Because you mentioned the communication issue. There is a big rumor all over town that there isn't gonna be a spectacular. So I'm just saying,
okay.
the
We might wanna get
question
that out
I was
there.
had about whether the golf course was going to allow it or not in the location.
What?
And so I was very
The
interested in
eighth grade
hearing.
sign, putting it out there early and that'll take care
Yeah,
of
I think
that.
that,
We can also send mass email. You could use the social media accounts to say save the date.
Okay.
That's, I think we want to have confirmation from, Joe Gambino one more time
Yeah,
through the mayor.
yeah.
And then we send out a save the date through social media and email.
I was really worried because the one reason why I came is because of this, because I had heard, and I had not heard, I heard that he had definitely said no. So I was wanting to communicate that directly to the board.
Thank you.
Because I hope that if you do it, that we get that out to the community.
Yes,
It's such a wonderful thing. to
Yeah,
do.
it was such a, and it was quite a wonderful community activity.
Yeah, and it was really look forward to, and people really, really enjoyed it, so.
And
So everybody on this board, I can address the board, so everyone knows, Gambino has agreed to allow us to have the spectacular on that location. And the city is also finalizing an agreement with Gambino to pave that horrible road across the bridge and everything.
Really?
Yeah, that agreement was inked last week, I believe.
Does that include
He-
replacing or repairing the bridge?
no, just
Bridges
bridges
separate.
paving.
Pave over the top of it, so it'll stop knocking the front end out of people's vehicles. It
Yeah.
makes me furious every time
They
I drive down
own,
there.
they own that little stretch there.
Yes.
The
So,
golf course does?
Yes.
I did not know that. I thought it was.
Good information, Cody.
One
Thank
of
you.
our, Ed Fleming got a legal judgment on that, and, Jeff approached Mr. Gambino, and they came to an agreement, is what Jeff told me.
Okay.
So that was Jeff confirming that, okay, so where's that?
It should be good, but before we put it out on social media, let's just check one more time.
Mhm.
So,
How?
Have Jeff just verify.
Okay.
If Jeff will just ask Joe, we're gonna put this out on social media, are you
Okay.
sure?
Mhm.
Cause don't move the football and go kick it.
Yeah.
It's already gone out on social media.
Bruce, do you wanna reach out to Jeff, or do you want me to? Or
Would
do
you?
you as a?
I can send him an email right now.
Okay.
Let's reply to the one I already got from him.
Thank you. I was gonna say, oh, well, yeah.
And-
No, that'd
and
be
for the
wonderful,
record-
y'all. Thank you.
I'll do everything that was already on the 2023.
Did so?
Yeah, I'll just do it. All the stuff that has my name next to it.
Well, I guess I don't have anything to
She's
do
gonna faint.
except order stuff, spend money, right? Hey, thank y'all. I think, do we have any other announcements at this?
For the closed workshop.
Yes, I think we should, those spectacular. Okay, location, activities.
Yeah, I have a gooseneck I can bring unless, the golf course has one we can use, which I think is what we were gonna do last year.
We had pass last year.
Oh, yeah, I have a 12-foot trailer, but and I also have a 32-foot gooseneck to use for the stage.
well, we have a new 11, whatever it is, right?
Mhm. There's one sitting in the back, but
It's
just
pretty
great.
small, but yeah.
But it can be used to haul hay or something. That's what we've used in the past, and then we've also done the hayride type thing in the parade. The only, I thought we were talking, the stage is, we used my 32-foot for that. I think last year there was a discussion that we were gonna use something longer than the golf course.
I don't, well, I wasn't.
That's what we can manage.
So do we need to have an agenda item for the next meeting to review the details of the spectacular
Just, yeah, let's make sure we have it added for, we have a,
line item
in the agenda for, update at least.
Then,
No announcements?
no announcements, anything, anybody else wants to share?
Sure.
Okay, all right. Meetings